I'm very happy today because I get a test drive car that I really enjoy driving it. And this time around, this car is locally assembled, has way more specifications, and is 30,000 ringgit cheaper. Okay, I love driving this car. And oops. Let me sort out some stuff. And I don't like looking at it. Can you guess what car is it? A car that I love driving, but don't... Ouch! What the hell? Why is the roof so low? Ta-da! It's the i5, which is brilliant. Okay, let's hook you guys up. All right, let me show you one thing that I'm not sure if you can see. I'm gonna extend my arm to the passenger seat, assuming I want to touch my wife. See? See, the lights came on. Wait, how does it detect? See? It's like police. Hey, apa buat? Apa buat? Apa buat? What about my side? Is there anything for my side? Nothing. That's so weird, but it's cool lah. Cool. Okay, let's go. How do I drop the blind at the back? Eh? Is it drop or is it up? Eh? Okay, there's no blind. Okay, let's go. This is a huge car. It's ginormous, but on the inside, I don't feel it is a lot larger than the G30. I think I've mentioned that in my previous video. But in terms of the drive, holy cow. Holy cow. The way it drives and the way it deals with these sharp little bumps in parking lots, right? Usually they go like tung tung. But in this car, suspension is amazing. So well sorted. This car is so well sorted. Suspension and drive. BMW. Okay. Feels so nimble. Okay, there'll be a lot of things that I may be repeating here. Say for example, the bad interface, the bad UI. I think the whole BMW knew about it already. And the bad heads-up display graphics. Okay, basically the graphics team that was in charge for this batch of BMW, I hope they have fired them. If they haven't, I hope they are on their way out. But other than that, let's not dive into old wounds. You know, BMW was like, oh, Bobby took the car again. Oh, he's gonna attack us on the useless interface, the bad graphics, yada. Okay, I want to make my day better as well. I'm just gonna focus on the good things lah, huh? Suspension and drive. Oh, I can never praise this car enough. And the fact that it is achieving these sort of ride quality without using air suspension. Let me tell you one thing, air suspension is expensive, it sounds expensive, it is expensive, it is premium, it gives you a type of very premium ride quality, but there are limitations with air suspension, okay? But I actually, as a car guy, I appreciate a well-sorted coil spring or adaptive coil spring much more than air suspension. I know there are modern air suspensions that has dual chamber and all that, right? They are able to address a lot of shortcomings of older air suspension, air sus modules or systems. But no matter what it is, when you combine, the combination of long-term durability, maintenance cost, and outright feel, okay, there are good ones, there are really, really good ones, like the Q7 or Q8, you know, those cars, right, I thought they are on really good adaptive coil springs because they provide such a direct feel when the car is being maneuvered. You know, some new Porsches, actually basically all the new air suspensions, they're done really, really well. You know, they don't feel like you're on air suspension, that kind of detached feeling. They don't have that. The Lotus Electras as well. But that comes with, right, at the expense of durability. No matter what people say, oh, you know, my uncle has this car with the air suspension, it has never had a problem in the past 10 years. You can say what you want, whatever you're saying it is, or whatever you just said, I don't care. They are not as reliable or as dependable or as durable as adaptive coil springs, right? Same goes with magnetoheliological or magnetic ride, basically. These are all fancy, amazing technology, but at the core of it, you don't even need adaptive. A well-judged, well-tuned suspension, right, can just be there and that's it, and then it will do the job. All right, so yep, I don't think I need to repeat how plasticky brand new BMW interiors are, even though this is relatively well fitted. It's relatively well fitted. Oh, all the touch sensitive stuff, horrible. Yeah, even the new E-Class is well fitted. They don't creak and all that. And this one has a very nice inlay running across the whole front dash. It looks like carbon. I don't care whether it's real carbon or fake carbon because it does the exact same job, which is nothing apart from aesthetics. See, I don't like this car detecting my hand signs and all that, then popping up stuffs automatically. Alright, but the drive is in the drive. So this is an EV. This is, I think I heard somewhere there are some updates to the exterior. M Sport or something. I'm sure it's M Sport, this carbon inlaid looking thing. Alright, as for the drive modes, I no longer how to, my modes, it's such a bad touch experience. What are we at now? We are now at efficient. Let's go sports. See how uncomfortable the car is? Still very comfortable. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Sounds good. Sounds good as in the Hans Zimmer. Oh. How much charge we have? 80. Oh, look at that. The suspension. My God, that's a deep one, man. That's a deep one. This is so good. Can I intentionally? Oh, this is very deep. No lah, don't do that. Oops. Red light. But there used to be a sign. Belok kiri jika tiada kenderaan. Where is that sign? They took it out. There is a sign that says belok kiri jika tiada kenderaan. This has always been here. So when you see opposite like big lorry U-turn, then you can go. Who the hell took it out? Some police hiding there? No lah. Anyway. You get what I mean, right? It's crucial for this to have the belok kiri jika tiada kenderaan. Wow. This is so manic, man. The throttle response is artificially... No, not... It's just... Oh, fuck, man. My God, BMW, how the hell you do this, man? This is a huge car. I'm sure it's more than 2 tons, right? It's an EV. How can it be so nimble? How? What the heck, we? Walao! No wonder so many people buying it, man. I tell you, man. It's not supposed to be this nimble. It's more nimble than the Electra. It's so nimble. The car is so big on the outside. My God. You can drive it like a little TT. And this is not some crazy M whatever, I60 whatever, I don't know. Okay. Walao eh. China! You want to take over the world, right? Benchmark your handling and your ride and your steering weightage with BMWs. You benchmark BMW just like what Mazda did. Mazda just said, we are here to copy BMW. Everything BMW does is our goal to copy. BMW, yeah. Jinba Itai is to BMW. This is so good. I rather this comfortable, nimble, pliant, sorted handling versus some that are sporty, so sporty, but a bit bumpy. Get what I mean? I rather this. Because this is so usable, Didi. There is so much you can extract out of this car. Okay. Now is the time for me to test my smart tag. Because I brought out a very old smart tag. I'm not sure if there's money inside. And like all smart tags, because all these are crony stuff, right? Rubbish things selling for 200 ringgit, right? Just because you have exclusive access to that sensor, right? This kind of rubbish, right? In China, I tell you, to produce one of it, I don't know, 10 yuan? Yeah, probably. And these guys sell for 200 in Malaysia, and they always break down. Oh, it's made in Malaysia, no wonder, always break down. If you make it in China, it will be much higher quality and better. But why is it made in Malaysia? Because I don't know who owns the company. I'm not connected anywhere, so I do not know. If I offended someone, I'm sorry. Alright, but if you have no shame in producing things that always break down, if you have no shame at all, you know, proudly emblazoned here, made in Malaysia, selalu rosak, tak malu langsung, berpuluh-puluh tahun masih macam ni, I tak kira ni bos siapa, tapi kalau I bos Smartech, memalukan tau, memang memalukan. Right, so I'll use Bahasa Malaysia to address this Malaysian company. Yeah, always. But Malaysians are so nice. Memang macam tu lah. One simple memang macam tu. Then you can drag something. See this kind of nonsense? Jam like that for 20-30 years. We are fine one. Malaysians, we are fine. Okay, let's try if there's money inside. I already changed the battery. There seems to be some response. Cut tamat tempo. Okay, throw this away. I have another one. Cut tidak sah. What the hell? There's only 2 cards I have. Wait. What do you mean? Kenapa tidak sah? Sini boleh? Okay, thank you. Apa ni? Luckily she's there. Luckily the pretty girl is there. Oh my God. Okay, because it's a comfortable suspension, when you're going fast and cornering, right, it's not as stable as the Electra or Imea, right? So BMW actually try their best to make this car feel nimble, feel light on its feet. But that is reflected when you are on corners like that. But yeah, if you're confident with yourself, then you don't get, flung about or panic braking. But when the road is not flat, because it tries to give you comfort, it will try to slow down the undulations, and that gives you the feeling of not planted. If it is a sportier setup, right, when there's undulation, right, you go like but in your impression is settled, it's done. Whereas this one, it slows it down, you're like, whoa, what's going on, but it's not that it's unstable, it's just a different way of dealing with these, right, and the priorities. Oh, behind me is an Audi Q8. Very good ride and handling as well, but this is a sedan. Sedan always beats SUVs. Pure physics, lowers. And one more thing, in the 5 Series segment, right, all this while, right, the center console is actually very comfortable for you to put your hand. But now that it's littered with all these touch-sensitive things, right, somehow I just felt that it's not that nice to leave my palm here. It's not, because the leather part is behind, right, and all I'm touching is plastic. The sharp edges of this gloss black meeting the I'll go through the interior later on. But as a car to drive, is brilliant. All right, the soundproofing, the visibility, you just can't. Yeah, it's still BMW lah. As much as I like to hate this car, right, because of the way it looks, as much as I want to hate it, it is so good. This car is so good. My God. How do I retract the... is this manual? Oh, it's manual. Okay. Yeah, I got another smart tag. Let's try. Just now it says cut tidak sah. Why? Is it because this one is sending out the wrong information? Let's try again. And cause trouble for other people. Because my card is alright. This one has power, right? It detects it. But why is it tidak sah tadi? Let's try again. You see, it says tidak sah and then thank you. What the hell? Okay, it's not the fastest out there, but it's fast enough lah, huh? But when you're in sport mode, on putting your throttle down, it purposely gives you that jerk to let you feel that, oh, I'm in sports mode, wow. But after that, the acceleration is pretty linear lah, huh? It's not. That's the thing with EV. You can aim for gaps that are impossible with ICE cars. But of course, those will require outright power, like the Zeekr 7X, those outright power. This one is powerful, but almost. Like Electra, those are Taycan. Oh my God, those are crazy, man. Gila babi. Okay, no gaps. Okay, that's about it. I'll do the walk around, but it's so nice to drive, so comfortable. If you bought one, congrats. And now it's 30,000 ringgit cheaper with higher specs, still with the same graphics, never improved for the past 2 years. Oh well. But they've moved on. They've moved on to the new infotainment system, the tall square screen. Ferrari is going tall square screen, BMW as well. All right, cheers. Connecting. Alright guys, it's my second time getting the BMW i5. This time this is the 40 and this is the locally assembled version, which is, according to what my staff briefed me, about 30,000 ringgit cheaper, but with a higher set of equipments. Alright, the whole bumper is actually very sporty looking. I just want to dissect the entire design language of new modern BMWs over here. There's a lot of chisel, angular, sharp line execution, as you can see from the front. All right, but you will see way lesser of these surfacing on the body. I'm going to explain to you now. They're very clever because it's much cheaper to do these sort of sharp angular lines on what is essentially a not metal material, right? So they're very strategic in the sense that they do all this kind of complicated parts and surfacing and design little details on the bumper and the grille while leaving most of the body relatively clean. Of course, it has some really nice clean folding lines on the body as well. And BMWs, you look at the paint matching between the metal surfacing, the fenders, the doors, the bonnets and the bumpers is just executed perfectly. And I can't deny the proportions of the car is actually very nice. Alright, if you look at this car from far, you will see a very long hood, even though technically there should be nothing in here. This hood looks like it can fit a V12 in there. All right, and then the profile is done really nicely, even though the whole thing is enlarged. It's a big car. It is a big car. And then you see this part tapering down. The most significant feature of this car that is different from previous BMWs is the extremely sloped tail end. Right, it is actually very sloped downwards. And then come to the rear bumper, again you will see all these sharp folding lines, concaves and all that in this section. Alright, the most prominent thing that is different from previous 5 Series is the way where the BMW logo is. There is a very strong folding line on the bonnet. I actually pretty like that. Alright, it's very distinctive. So it has a very strong and angular and angry fascia. It is the kind of design where if you look at its totality, it works. Individually speaking, in terms of how the headlights are sculpted and all that, I am of the opinion that this is a kind of design that is strong, powerful, but not to my personal liking. Doesn't make it an ugly car, but to my personal eyes, I will still say that it's not as elegant or as beautiful as previous 5 Series. But maybe they are not aftering elegance at the end of the day, right? Maybe they want to bring sporty sedan, this idiom of sporty sedan, to another weight class. Because the 3 Series has always been the sporty sedan, and then the 5 Series goes into junior executive. But now for BMW, probably in their thinking is anyone who buys a sedan wants sporty driving. So since they wanted sporty driving, why do we make the 5 Series sedan executive and mature looking? Why don't we just assume that people who want comfortable, mature, practical cars, they would just go for an SUV. Anyone who buys a sedan is someone who loves driving, is a driving enthusiast, likes sporty car characters. And probably that's the ideology behind. That's why this round they made the 5 Series looking extremely sporty and aggressive, carrying the mantra of 3 Series into another weight class. Basically now you have 2 choices. Instead of one sporty compact sedan, you have 2. Okay, I believe I nailed it. This is the thinking behind. Okay, now that's the front, and now let's look at the rear again. A lot of people laugh at it and say that it's a Honda Accord or something. Nevertheless, you don't see the classic BMW L-shaped taillights. It's just a very simple, lengthy, you know, they are almost same broad. It's slightly tapered upwards, and then towards here, there's a tiny little king. Oh, there's one loud lightning over there. All right, and then in this one, the eDrive 40, you have this little ducktail spoiler. Doesn't do much, I reckon. Just looks sporty. Diffuser look-alike stuff, but oh yeah, it works. It does work. There is some form of airflow guidance there because the whole rear deck is covered and then it tapers upwards, so it should actually really guide air upwards. Gone were the days where, you know, we press our BMW logo and it folds and all that, because those things cost more. All right, here you have some hook points. That's a very large boot, but you notice this is deep, but none over there. Okay, see, premium cars, you get thick boards and all that. The height is not that impressive. Okay, again, I want to stress this to premium car makers. You guys are premium car makers. Please cover this part. It doesn't cost a lot of money, probably a few dollars worth of carpeting. Come on, do your worth, all right? I appreciate they put the lights pointing downwards, because a lot of cars, right, they put the lights over here. At night when you open the boot, right, it's dark and then one light glaring at you. This one doesn't. Okay, you have some levers here that can lower the seats. You see, you can see the whole cable pulley mechanism over there. Okay, it loses it, but it doesn't automatically spring load it to fold down. Okay, it doesn't do that. So boot space wise, height is limited. The overall theme of this car is, from the exterior, you know, the exterior of this car, right, if you park it next to a G30, the previous 5 Series, it is so much larger. But when you hop into the car, you can't really feel where it has grown. Can this fold flat? Okay, relatively okay. That's a good opening, but that's about it. Ooh, sporty seat belts, sporty. And the rear speaker grills. Ooh, it's raining. Luckily I did the exterior, but I haven't started the car. Can I start it now? Yay, I get aircon while it rains outside. Okay, this is unique. All right, you get folding blinds behind here. They are not powered, mind you. This is 5 Series segment, not 7 Series. Look at the rear passengers, right? You get this large, beautiful Bowers & Wilkins speaker grille with an illuminated speaker inside. But for the front passenger, you only get that little tiny one over there, and the one below is actually plastic. Interesting. Usually people would do this for the front passengers, but it's certainly very nice. The laser cutting is well polished. There's no sharp edges. It's very well finished. Okay. Oh, is it because it's not metal anymore? Is this metal or is it plastic? I think it's plastic. Doesn't feel like metal. Yeah, it's plastic. No wonder the finishing is so nice. So these premium speakers, right, the grills used to be metal. Oh, that's some heavy rain, huh? The grills used to be metal and laser engraving and all that, laser cutting. But this one is so nice to the touch, so perfectly finished because it's plastic, all right? And here is coupled with a gloss black material. It's all right. This one doesn't pass through, but it's not very deep either. The reverse door handles are unique. Ergonomic wise, it's okay, like you can accept it. They have to do something different anyway. The aircon vents are over here, but there's no protrusion in terms of the B pillar versus the doors. So it's a kind of a narrow pathway for it to blow towards the rear passenger, but it's totally acceptable. For this segment, it's nice to have air con outlets on the B pillar, all right? Yet another mystery that eludes people is that BMW somehow seems to refuse to have adjustable seatbelt height adjustments on a 5 Series segment car. That is a mystery, I tell you. That's a mystery, okay? These are nothing much, and you have some lights over here, touch sensitive. As for the seat back angle, you can see it's actually pretty upright. I am seated pretty upright, as you can see here. And even though the exterior of the car is very huge, you can see that, I mean, this is a classic 5 Series. They get a full length seat back. But if you look at the space between my legs, my knees with the seats in front versus the foot space that I have, my feet is size 11.5, okay? I barely managed to squeeze my shoes in between the seat rails and the base of the seat back. This is pretty tall because there is a non-EV version of this car, and the long shaft needs to run below, probably some exhaust or whatnot, okay? Some stuffs need to run below. But the extension of this towards here actually eats into the space of rear passengers, actually. I mean, because if I look at this whole assembly, right, there is absolutely no reason for it to extend this far. This whole chunky bit, right? The air vents can begin right where this ends, and then this whole 2.5, 3 inch of chunkiness can be recessed, because there's nothing complicated here apart from a digital screen and 2 USB-C ports. And this is not powered or whatnot, right? So there's nothing much here, you know, just a little tiny compartment and nothing much here. But in terms of passengers moving from one seat to the other, you can see it is not exactly the byword for having lots of rear leg room, even though the exterior of the car is massive, right? It is a massive car by any measure. You park this car next to a Camry, next to an Accord, it is massive. But in terms of interior room, there's not a huge load of improvement over the G30. But is it comfortable? Yeah, acceptable. Just 2 holes, nothing much. Nice leather in this version, nice modern perforation and stitching. These are all comfy, quality is acceptable, but in this time and age, we are spoiled by Chinese cars, right? 100K Chinese car easily would have matched up to this interior, if not better. This is, again, a big chunky part for what it does. It's basically some accessory holder for you to buy, that kind of iPad holder, and you can plug it in, and then some proprietary stuff so your kids don't look at the phone with their necks like that. But that's pretty huge for what it does. Basically, all you need is the simple thing that could have mounted itself to something over here, right? Well, that's classic German for that measure. All right, door bins are again curiously blocked off. It's like it's a mystery because there's no speakers over here. There is nothing inside here. Why don't they have the door bins full length and have it more usable in a way? But this opening is pretty large, so I suspect some big bottles can be slotted here, but it will be somewhat sideways, pointing outwards. All right, no other cubby spaces over here, and that's somewhat about it. Now, I have always complained about this generation BMW's dual horizontal screen interface. All right, they are not the byword for ease of use. Okay, However, BMW's voice command is actually very advanced. Open sunroof blind.
Okay.
And it goes from the back. Very interesting. Okay. And this car has some of the largest heads-up display, which you will not be able to see here. But I just switched them off because it's too bright. And the graphics that they use to display my throttle position is unnecessarily large. And it's not anything that is of useful information. So I turned it off, because it's bright, beautiful, and a little bit of an annoyance, okay? And the car can do a lot of things as well. Change driving mode to sport.
Okay, I have activated sport mode.
Yeah, you can see that. So while you're driving, right, there is a lot of things that you actually can just press that button and activate it. Even pairing your phone and all that is actually pretty amazing. My last experience with this, let me try. I think my Bluetooth is on. Okay, let's try this. Bluetooth connection.
For this function, I need a connection to a Bluetooth device. Mobile devices. You can connect your mobile phone in this menu. Please continue using manual control.
Interesting. The last round, connect my phone.
You can connect your mobile phone in this menu. Please continue using manual control.
Oh, interesting. The last round I did this, I merely spoke to the car and my phone popped up. Oh, there we go. Connect. Allow. Let's allow everything. So the last round, when I did this, I merely speak to it, and before I did anything, both my phone and my wife's phone popped this up, and we say okay, and both phones were in immediately. That was really, really good. So I'm not sure why this one requires a manual click. Maybe for safety, perhaps. Right, well, that's taking some time. Never mind, cancel. It's all right. And in terms of overall fit and finish, it's acceptable in today's German car standards, but don't compare it to German cars or BMWs that are 15 years ago. So there are two ways to go about this, right? In this time and age, a lot of money has to be spent on technology, on ambient lighting, on voice recognition, on chipsets, on graphic processors and all that, right? That is the thing that impresses modern car buyers, right? An impressive lighting system, screens and all that. But in about 15 years ago, there's none of that to impress people. So what do? They do huge chunks of polyurethane, soft touch materials on the doors, which is essentially useless. They don't serve any purpose if you think about it. Now what do? They have a hard plastic underneath. They have a thin layer of soft touch on top, which is perfectly acceptable. So what I'm saying here is an observation, not something that I'm criticizing. Separate that, okay? But of course, there are also a lot of things that I can observe, like running my fingers past these moldings. There are a lot of sharp lines that you would just feel it, all these are sharp edges that in previous generation of BMWs, they hide it better in some ways, but BMW is not the worst offender, I think. Now, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, they're all like that. All of them are like that in pursuit of lightweight, okay? Now, in my other video, my X3 video, I explained to the BMW salesperson why BMW changed their aircon vents to these type, where all you can see is a tiny control to adjust the angle of your wind, how your aircon is blowing, but nothing else, is because this was done to reduce warranty claims. There are a lot of people who do stupid things now. First, they started off with hanging their car fresheners onto the air vents. That's still alright. Car fresheners don't weigh a lot, probably 40 grams and all that. But silly things start when people starting to hang their heavy mobile phones on those clips onto the air vents. And this broke a lot of air vents, and consumers do what consumers does. They lie. They lie through their teeth, right? No, I've never hung a phone on my air vent, but it just broke. Your quality sucks. Better honor your 5-year warranty. Yeah. So, what do? Embed the entire thing into the dashboard in the name of high tech, and then come up with another mechanical solution that allows you to adjust the angle of the air without breaking your precious air vents. These at the back are still the traditional type, but nobody's gonna hang their mobile phone here, and they are chunky. Alright, so if you miss this, blame yourself or blame consumers for not heeding the advice of us motoring people telling you not to hang your stuff on your air vents because you break them, even though they are not expensive to replace. But it's enough for BMW because they sell 2.5 million cars all over the world to people who are not smart enough to buy Porsches. Okay, I'm sorry. Smart means you earn more money, right? That's a joke, okay? Don't get offended. These are still the same quality, but they've done away with that dreaded old little light on top and this whole assembly, right? They've removed that. So now you open this, it lights up behind, and it's diffuse lighting just like the Chinese, which is nice. The mirror size is acceptable. Okay, so but overall quality of this touch point is acceptable, but it's not 5 Series plushness. Okay, these leather is alright, stitching is alright. Overall, BMW builds are, wow, you see, it's so hard for me to move around the back here, even though this car is huge on the outside. Alright, that's the interior. Is extremely comfortable. I love the seat adjustment angles. I love the driving position. I still am not a fan of overly chunky steering wheel. This part as well, I don't appreciate them to be that chunky. I have big palms, relatively speaking, for Asians. Okay, I am 180 cm, 5'11", and I can hold a basketball. Alright, but even for my palms, I felt it's a bit too fat, unnecessarily fat. And if you have this, for us to put our thumbs, right, this part is just too fat. I miss the old M Sport steering wheel. The one in the F generation cars, the M Sport steering wheel of that one is perfect. That is perfect. The round steering wheel. Or was it flat bottom? I forgot. The round in the middle. That one doesn't have the best build. You know, there's a lot of flimsy bits around, but that is the best BMW steering wheel. Okay. Again, observations. Other than that, these all feel pretty high quality. It's alright, but BMW removed some stuff that we old BMW owners love, like pressing a little button to activate automatic wipers and all that. We love that. And toggling a left-right switch to adjust left or right mirror. Now they turn it to a button, and some hidden features like pre-programmed stuffs and all that. But everything can be done via the voice recognition. That's why, even though this one has some of the poorest interface grouping, you know, it's just little icons, and then once you press the icons, everyone has their own logic. Every one of them have their own logic. you know, and is actually pretty tiring to find things on this car. There's no logical system. Is sometimes you get a graphic to tell you what it does, sometimes you don't, sometimes you need to read text that are horizontal, sometimes the texts are split to left, right. It's all over the place, okay, in the interface part. And so far, I thought they will update it, but they didn't bother. All they did is they just launched an all-new interface in the new iX3, okay. Oops, this is from my son. Small compartment here, and you see how tall this is, right? But it's not very deep, so sometimes it makes me wonder what's underneath, because BMW, it's not like Volvo, right? Volvo puts the battery in the center tunnel. I believe this one has a floor, right? And curiously, BMW always have a perfect footwell situation, all right? But to my surprise, this is the first time, I didn't notice in the previous time, where you see this left footrest? This left footrest may look big here, but at the very top is sealed off. So it's the first time in the BMW that the left footrest couldn't fit okay lah, it's about, probably I would appreciate if there's 1 more cm of height availability, because I put my feet there. It's just 1 cm short of me resting my entire feet according to the angle of the footrest. I have to lift it a little bit, part of my heel on the carpet, because the top is sort of sealed off. All right, small observations there again, nothing much. Spacious, drop slowly, covered in felt. Ooh, it's so plush. Most cars down here is hard plastic. I was expecting hard plastic, but it's soft. Plush and soft leather wrap, glove box. Oh, this under part, the whole thing under here is leather wrap. Now that's a surprise. Usually as you go further down, it's not leather wrap. What about here? Yeah, this is just some high quality plastics, really high quality plastics that are hard, but it doesn't hurt your knuckle, right? Same with this one, high quality plastics. They are not soft touch. They are certainly not soft touch. This is soft touch. This is high quality plastics as well. But this is nice material. Nice material all around. This is leather wrap. This is proper quality. At least it's better than the one in the new X3. That's pretty horrible. And I don't understand the reason for BMW to suddenly make this entire plastic enclosure seat back with the same high quality plastic that is hard plastic but doesn't hurt your knuckle type, high quality stuff, and just do the whole thing here instead of having the old, you know, you get a pocket and all that. They just don't do it. Does it make the seat slimmer? I think so. I think it makes the seat slimmer, and it's able to have the concave structure to push whatever inner volume to make way for, oh, see, I can't even swap my feet around, to make way for room for your knees. All right, and I appreciate this large panoramic roof for this locally assembled version. And overall, what's my verdict on this car? We live in a time and age where this big of a car looks like it has reasonable interior room, not like capacious, right? But whatever it is, I know there's a lot of Chinese cars out there that can easily beat this in terms of bang for buck. In terms of what you get inside, the Chinese SUVs can easily match this interior build quality with a way more easier interface to use. And but there's one thing they still can't match, which is the drive. It's the drive of this car that is off my head. The two electric EVs, the electric sedan EVs that drives better than this is way more expensive. The Imea, this is 330,000. The Emeya starts at 500,000 or 490 thereabouts. The Taycan is also higher. So those drive better. Taycan is way smaller than this because that's an actual sports car, 4-door sports car, but it's actually very tight inside. Emeya is very spacious, very plush, and actually the Emeya size translated into its interior room, which this one, right? But I enjoy the drive, and the perfection of how BMW manages the power recuperation, the software with driving, right? Even though I'm still not very satisfied with the way the car sort of try to maintain me in my lane very subtly when I'm driving fast, a form of safeguard, but the friction it employed is so minute you may miss it, but that is not present when the speed comes down, right? And the way the car recuperates energy without making me feel like the car is intentionally slowing me down with the recuperation, like the early generation iX, is job well done. It is done very subtly. I felt the car drives just like my petrol car. When I'm cruising, gliding on the highway at high speeds, I don't feel as though the car has some crazy recuperation slowing me down, which annoys people. And I'm doing that in the efficiency mode, which is pretty impressive. All right. So overall, if you have this in your crosshairs, I'd say just go and buy it because it is so capable. It is so well equipped, and it drives brilliantly. It's perfectly enough as a big sedan, and yeah. Go ahead and buy this. I would say it's nice. All right? And yeah, what else you need to know? I'm not sure. Cheers. Oh, one last bit. In sports mode, it artificially manufactures a very violent liftoff on standstill or when you are gliding at slow speeds. That gives you an impression that this car has explosive power. But as your speed climbs up, you will realize that, okay, it's average at best in terms of EV speaking, okay? Average acceleration. I think that is just a sensation. So I just put it in normal mode and just drive. There's no normal that's expressive, efficient, personalized probably. All right, yeah, and I enjoy the Hans Zimmer sound it makes, which is, I mean, anyone can come up with that, right? But if you're Hans Zimmer, people pay you to do it. All right, that's the i5. Brilliant execution. Some little expectations. I wouldn't call it shortcomings. I call it false expectations from people who own the G30 and saw the G60. This is the G60, I think, and saw the huge size and thought it would be a lot more spacious inside. They may get a little bit disappointed because I don't see any difference with the G30 in terms of interior room. But exterior wise, the size, the imposing size, has a lot of presence. Yeah, I cannot argue with that. It's not as pretty as its predecessor, but it certainly has more presence than its predecessor. Cheers.